Good day everyone, welcome to Mathematics Clinic. I am Akomolafe Mrs. by name. I'm here to make mathematics easy for you, so relax and enjoy yourself. So today I'll be taking us through linear equations, but before we go into that, I want us to quickly look at what we need to achieve after this lesson. Our stated objectives at the end of this lesson: 1. You should be able to identify and solve linear equations. 2. You should be able to solve linear equations using balancing method. And lastly, you should be able to solve linear equations using collecting like terms method. So, equation on the other hand, what does it mean? An equation is a statement that shows two algebraic expressions to be equal in value. That is, when you have two expressions equal to each other, we said an equation is formed. The equation sign there is what that makes it to be an equation, and that's the difference between an equation and expression, the equation sign. So looking at what we have here, our 3x plus 7 equals 6 minus 3x is an equation because of the equation sign, and it is an equation with an unknown x. That is, x is the unknown here. And solving equation, what does it mean? To solve an equation means to find the numerical value of the unknown. That is the variable you have in your equation. When you are asked to solve equation, it means get the numerical value of the unknown. The numerical value of the unknown that makes the equation to be true is what gives the solution to our equation. That's what solving means. So the equation 2y plus 8 equals 7y minus 6 is a linear equation. This is an example of a linear equation. What makes this to be a linear equation? If you look at it, our unknown here, the variable we have here, the highest power of it here is 1. That is, any equation that has the variable to have the highest power of 1 is called a linear equation. That's how we identify a linear equation. Linear equation is an equation with the highest power of its unknown to be what? 1. Good. So, in solving linear equations, we have so many methods. But to start with, we'll be considering balancing method. But there are some things we need to know when using balancing method. Firstly, an equation is balanced when you add same value to both sides. Do you get that? Good. It is also balanced when you subtract same value from both sides. Good. I believe that's sync. And also, an equation is balanced when you multiply or divide both sides by same value. Perfect. So now let's look at some examples. Solve the following using balancing method. Now the question states that we should use balancing method. So question 1, we have x plus 3 equals 8. Question 2, we have 3b equals 10 plus b. And lastly, we have 2w minus 5 equals 8. These are the questions we have. So we want to solve. The first question, x plus 3 equals 8. If you look at it perfectly well, at the left hand side we are having x. So I advise we leave x there. But the plus 3 there is affecting us. Don't forget, we are asked to solve, meaning our target, we want to target finding the value of what? X. Good. So we leave x at this end, and the positive 3 here is attaching itself to x, so we try to do away with that. So our plus 3, the inverse of plus 3 is what? Minus 3. Very good. So we try to subtract 3. In order to eliminate that 3, we have plus 3 minus 3. But don't forget, we cannot subtract 3 from the left hand side only. We subtract from both sides. So we start by saying subtract 3 from both sides. So if we subtract 3 from both sides, we have x plus 3 minus 3 equals 8 minus 3. Our 3 minus 3 gives 0. So we have x left, and 8 minus 3 gives 5. So our final answer becomes x equals 5. So we can check that if we are right. We put in 5 for x in the equation. So we have 5 plus 3 equals 8. And our 5 plus 3 is what? 8 equals 8. That balances the equation. So we are good. Question 2 now. 3b equals 10 plus b. So here we have 3b at the left hand side, but at the other side we are having 10 and positive b. So we want to try to remove that. Since it's a positive b, we subtract also. So we say let's subtract b from both sides. So subtracting b from both sides, we have 3b minus b equals 10 plus b minus b. Good. So our 3b minus b gives 2b, and b minus b gives 0. So that one cancels each other, and we are left with 10. So we have 2b equals 10. So how do we get our b? Don't forget, we want to find the value for b, and 2 is what is multiplying b here. So to eliminate that 2, since it's multiplying, we do the inverse, which is what? Division. Correct. So we divide by 2. And what are we dividing by 2? Both sides, because we want to balance the equation. Very good. So we divide both sides by 2, and that becomes 2b over 2 equals 10 over 2. So our 2 cancels 2. We have b, and 10 divided by 2 gives 5. So our final answer is b equals 5. You can also quickly check for that. Put in 5 in place of b. So we have 3 times 5 equals 10 plus 5. 3 times 5 is 15, and 10 plus 5 also is 15. So that's correct. So let's move to the last example. 2w minus 5 equals 8. You can tell me, what are we going to do here? Correct. The minus 5 is what we want to try to do away with. And since it's minus 5, you do the inverse, which is plus. Very good. So we start by saying add 5 to both sides. So we have our 2w minus 5 plus 5 equals 8 plus 5 minus 5 plus 5. You are owing 5 and you have 5. That settles it. That gives 0. So you are left with 2w equals what? 13. Very good. So how do we get w? Good. We divide both sides by 2. So that gives 2w over 2 equals 13 over 2. 2 cancels 2. We have w, and 13 divided by 2 gives 6 whole number, 1 over 2 as a mixed number, right? And you can also have it as a decimal fraction to be 6.5. So our final answer there is w equals 6.5. Very good. So let's move on. We can also use another method which we call collecting lifetimes to solve our linear equations. But in using this method, what this means is you try to gather numbers to one side and you gather letters also to the other side. But while doing so, while you are transferring your values, when your value is crossing over the equation sign, the sign it carries changes. That is, any value that crosses over the equation sign changes its identity. The identity will change. If it is plus, it change to minus, and if it's minus, it change to plus. Let's quickly look at some examples under that. We have to solve 2a plus 9 minus 5a equals 0. And question 2, solve 12 minus 3m equals 2m minus 3. So let's go to the solution board. 2a plus 9 minus 5a equals 0. We are having a 2a and minus 5a at the left hand side already. So it's advisable we leave those ones. You don't need to move. But the positive 9, try to move it to the other side. So we say we collect like terms. Collecting like terms, we have 2a minus 5a equals our 0, which is already there, and positive 9 crossing over the equation sign change to minus 9. Good. So 2a minus 5a gives minus 3a, and 0 minus 9 gives minus 9. The same way, we want to find the value for a. So what do? Correct. We divide both sides by minus 3. And somebody tell me, why are we using minus 3? Why not another value? That's very good. Perfect. Because minus 3 is the coefficient of a that we want to find the value. So we say divide both sides by minus 3. So minus 3a divided by minus 3 equals minus 9 divided by what? Minus 3. So minus 3 cancels minus 3. We have a left equals what? Minus cancel minus, and 9 divided by 3 gives 3. So our answer becomes a equals 3. That's the final answer. We can also check for that by substituting 3 for a back into the equation. You must get 0 after doing that. So let's look at example 2 now. Our 12 minus 3m equals 2m minus 3. Here, it is advisable that we try to achieve having positive value for our unknown, that is the m. So to make our work easier, since we have the larger part of the number at the left hand side, we can leave the 12 there and bring the minus 3 to come and meet 12. So we collect like terms, and we start by having our 12 minus 3 crossing over to the other side becomes plus 3 equals 2m already there, and minus 3m going to the other side also changes to what? Plus 3m. So 12 plus 3 becomes 15, and 2m plus 3 gives 5m. So in the same manner, we want to find m. What do? We divide both sides by 5. Perfect. So we divide both sides by 5, and that gives 15 over 5 equals 5m over 5. Our 15 over 5 gives 3, and 5 cancels 5. We are left with m, meaning our m is equal to 3. Our final answer. So far so good. I think we've been able to look at how we can identify a linear equation. When you see one, you should be able to identify, and how we can solve using any preferred method of your choice. We've looked at how we use balancing method, but when you are using that, you follow the rules strictly. That is, you must do to both sides. Either you are adding, you are subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Always do to both sides. And when you are using collecting like terms, when any value is crossing over the equation sign, the sign it carry will change. Good. So I want to implore you to try this in order to test your knowledge so far, your ability, if you have truly understood so far. So try the following, and you can as well lay your hands on more questions from your textbooks. And if you have any problem at the end of it all, feel free to get back to me. I'll be willing and happy to attend to your question. So after getting your solution, it's also advisable to check the same way we've been doing while solving. So check in order to know whether you are right or not. So I'm so happy that you've given your attention. Thank you for watching and listening. God bless you. We meet some other time. Bye for now.